My name is Abby Bannon, and I won the songwriting competition in 2020 with my song, Thank God for the Gold and Blue. I remember when I found out about the scholarship, hearing that it had to be written by myself, and that was a really big challenge for me because I had never written a song by myself. This is the first one I ever wrote by myself. I was a co-writing girl. I never, I liked collaborating, and I had a hard time doing it on my own. So this was a really big challenge for me, but also helped me strengthen my, songwriting skills because I had something that I could confidently say, these are all my ideas, and I originally came up with it, which I thought was really cool. So this song that I wrote, Thank God for the Gold and Blue, was written about my graduating class from high school. I went to Crawfordsville High School, and there's a lot of memories from high school that I didn't want to go, not unheard of, but forgotten, I guess, and I wanted to be able to, put that other people's feelings into a song, and I think that's what songwriting is all about, and things that other people have a hard time voicing and putting to words and all this kind of stuff. That's what we're here to do, is do that for them, so then they can be like, oh yeah, that's exactly how I'm feeling. I'm glad that, so, and I was president of my class, and I had to give a speech at graduation, and I was going through all this, music high at the time, and I thought it would be cool to write a song for it, which hindsight didn't end up getting to sing because of COVID, but on the recording for our graduation, I did get to play it, so everyone got to see the virtual, side of it, which was cool. I wrote it senior year, within the time span of when I found out about the scholarship to, probably a couple months. And I remember I would sit in my office helper, and it was perfect because I was literally at school, like I was in it, and I was walking the halls and getting all this inspiration, and then go write it down in my journal, and then, this song came from it. But it was a really cool opportunity, and I will say, getting to come here, this is like my first experience in the studio, and so, I had this song, and I had been writing songs at the time, but getting the chance to hear it professionally done and not just a voice memo on my phone was really cool too, because that just brings the song to life. That's what it's all about. So probably my mom, honestly, probably one of my parents saw it and they were like, oh, you can't not do this, at least get. And I'm like, no, I can't write a song by myself, there's no way. But I am very glad that I did, so it definitely worked out. But I want to say my parents, because there were so many scholarships at the time that I applied for, and you didn't never hear anything back. But this one was different because it was actually something that was creative and not just where do you come from, what are your grades, and that kinds of stuff. This was I was in control of it. So I'm a senior at Purdue now, so I'm graduating. I know, which is why it's crazy. I feel like I was just here. I'm graduating a year early, so I'll be done in May in a couple weeks. Praise the Lord. And moving to Nashville in July, and I accepted a job with Jackson Financial, so it's not anything music related, but it's in Music City. So if anything's gonna happen, opportunities and that kinds of stuff, I have a feeling it will be there with the connections that I made while I was at Belmont and those kind of things. So, but musically right now, I will say I've transitioned from more of a writing aspect of like my creativity to like a performance aspect. So I've been doing gigs, I guess if you want to call them that, at different restaurants and little bars and wineries and coffee shops and that kinds of stuff in the Lafayette area, and then also back home in Crawfordsville, and then I've done a couple in Nashville while I was there over the summer too, which was cool. So, but writing was such a big part of my life for like 2 or 3 years, and then when I left Belmont, then it kind of turned into I want to share these songs. I have so many songs and so much that I want to share with other people. So like I kind of mentioned earlier, the advice that I would give is to not be afraid to try to write a song by yourself, because like I said, I had never written a song by myself and had no confidence in my writing skills at all if I wasn't with somebody else that could be like, that sounds good or whatever. So taking that leap of faith and doing that on my own, I would give that advice to someone who, or even someone who, like, nobody had heard my songs at the time, and besides my parents and my siblings, that I would sit down and make them listen to me, you know. So I also, like, if you deep down know that, you know, you have something special and you have something that you want to share, you are not going to lose anything from, you know, sharing that piece that you've put together. So I want to say, after I turned it in and submitted it and then found out that I had won and you guys contacted me, you did send me, like, before we started the, you know, recording process, you guys had sent me a list of things, like, these are suggestions that we have. But I do remember that was helpful because I like to co-write, and so that was kind of like a co-writing on the back half of it after I had already, you know, built that confidence and had something I was proud of, but then still got to have input from other people to, you know, get it to where it needed to be recorded. My only advice would be, if you think you have something to share, go for it. And the worst thing could happen is that they say no. So that's my advice.